evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Last month, one of our employees retired after 20 years of service, and I wanted to present the plaque to him. His name is Marco Muñiz.
Oh, Mr. Muñiz.
Muñiz,
Come on over, sir.
So after 20 years,
20 years of... Would you care to say a few words, Mr. Muñiz? No?
Sayonara.
Come on over so we can take a photograph with you.
Thank you, sir.
Retirement, sir.
Thank you for your
Awesome.
service.
Happy retirement.
Director,
One, two, three.
that's really, let's get the siblings here. Oh, yeah, of course. It's a nice memory.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody knew he was my brother.
Now they know.
Now they know.
Sisters.
muy joven.
Started very young. I think he was like 19.
Well, congratulations once more, Mr. Muñiz. Happy retirement. We're all going to be there one day in your future. Thank you, Mr. Muñiz. Mr. Cantu, also yesterday you reported at the EDC meeting the financials under the sales taxes are for the month. Could you tell us a little bit? I know it's great news, so
Sure.
Gotta
It's always
share
good to share great news. Yeah, the city actually had its highest grossing sales tax for the existence of the city. I know I've mentioned this before because we've had it before, but now this time it's even higher. 546,000 in 1 month. And that's what the month of February, that's for the collections of December. So December was a good month for the city. They continue to go up. I was hoping we could get the numbers today for this month, but probably won't see them till tomorrow. But they should be pretty good also. I mean, they haven't gone down. We're at a 5% increase from last year. Last year was the highest grossing sales tax for the city in its existence. So this year's got a 5% increase from last year. We went conservative on our budget and we budgeted the same thing as we were last year. So we're a little bit higher in our revenue. So we're doing good.
Excellent. Thank you.
excellent news to be able to say that we've been at unprecedented numbers again in the history of Rio Grande City, and where it's only the beginning. At this point, we have so many other new businesses coming in, and once they open up, that will certainly keep increasing. So kudos to all the staff and for making this happen, and certainly to the community that keeps shopping local, staying local, and whenever it's possible. So thank you. Excellent news.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent numbers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else, Chief?
I think that's it. I don't know if anybody wants to.
Ms. Guillen?
I wanted to inform the commission and members of the public who are watching us that tomorrow evening from 6:30 to 7:30, Lone Star National Bank, together with the Rio Grande City Chamber of Commerce, is hosting a first-time home buyer seminar at the Holiday Inn Express. They will provide a step-by-step guide to purchasing your first home. So I'd like the public to know anyone who is interested in learning those steps is encouraged to attend. Again, this is tomorrow, March 10th, from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Holiday Inn Express. I also want to add that just being here in the building all day, there was traffic in and out of this room with the Starbucks hiring event. I know the space was limited for the people that were here. Nonetheless, they did get to visit with a lot of job seekers. So there's certainly excitement within the community for this new project, and of course those opportunities for employment and excellent benefits to the company that some of these job seekers are vying for. So we hope to get those new hires pretty quickly, but thank you to the city for organizing and having hosted Starbucks at City Hall today.
Ms. Guillen, do we know how many people are going to be hiring?
I don't have that number, sir. But they're hiring, from management level to, the baristas.
Baristas.
Yeah, so.
Baristas, like the word.
Are they gonna open?
That's
They are not
fantastic, man,
opening
that kind of number.
anytime soon, but later this spring, they expect to be fully open. We'll have an exact date for you guys, probably at the next city commission meeting.
Fantastic.
And they had complimentary coffee for those in attendance. Some of us
Oh,
were
shit,
able to
come.
enjoy it, but yeah.
They have frappuccinos. Thank you, Ms. Yen. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Ms. Villarreal, we had the health fair. And a 5K.
Anna Fit Kids Camp. Well, good evening, City Commission and audience here, and Mayor. Yeah, that's exactly what I came up here to talk about, just to kind of give you our feedback and the results of our health fair, our first annual health fair. Hopefully, we will be able to continue this. So, first off, I want to thank Driscoll Health Plan because they were our lead sponsor on this. We did have a contract with them and they sponsored us. The majority of the monies were for this health fair, but the excess of the monies can be spent for a back-to-school event or for any other health-related events that we plan on having to provide for the community. Aside from that, we had about 23 vendors sign up, and of those vendors, some that are more prominently well-known are Texas A&M School of Pharmacy. They helped out during Operation Lone Star. We also had Starr County Memorial Hospital. We also had Popular Pharmacy, Leono's Pharmacy. We had students from South Texas College come by and help. We also had vendors from basically like 10 different healthcare facilities, home healthcare as well. We had over 100 participants come and join us, so we were able to provide services for over 100 people in the community, which I think says a lot about the city hosting something for the first time. That was actually, the first day was a little shaky. I know that Mr. Olivares, you were there, and Chief Castillo, you were there on that first day. It was very windy outside. We had a table blow over, but I also want to thank, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, when I was talking to Dr. Grayson, who he organizes this group on behalf of the School of Pharmacy, and he said that it was a phenomenal event and that he enjoyed being outdoors and he prefers to be outdoors for this event. And so on another note, I also want to thank Dr. Vasquez, the president for Starr County Memorial Hospital. He came by and he spoke, as well as Dr. Bernal, a family physician here in the region. They both touched base on details of the partnership and what that meant for the expansion. Dr. Vasquez, he very eloquently described that partnership and what it exactly means. And so I want to thank them again. On Saturday, we had the 5K. Thank you, Mayor. You were there. You participated. And,
Yes, we did.
and I also want to thank Commissioner Ramirez for your support on behalf of the school district, because you guys were able to facilitate with us very smoothly in regards to the stadium usage and the equipment that you guys had. But Chief, you were there. There was a lot of kids in that Fit Kids camp. That was led by the Texas Department of Public Safety. And it was amazing to see how many people participated in that. And so we got really good feedback on Saturday, and we had over 50 people sign up for the 5K for our first year. And so it was a really great event, and overall everyone was thrilled, and they're excited to see what the future's to bring.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations there, Ms. Villarreal.
It was a very positive event.
Thank you. It was because of you guys I was able to do this, so thank you.
Well,
Good
and
job,
it's
thank you.
going back to keeping Rio moving, the initiative of health and wellness, and that's something we need to continue to promote. So definitely great event, and especially the idea of what we want to do, which the health and wellness of our community is synonymous with prosperous communities. So we absolutely need to continue to move that initiative. So congratulations to you and the staff and the vendors and everyone that was part of this, and of course the city chief and staff. So great. And yes, I enjoyed the 5K. It was my first 5K, actually.
Did he walk or did he run the whole thing?
Hey,
He actually earned a medal that he left too early to receive, so it was given to someone else. But he did well, and there was a walk category, there was a run category. And so it's funny because there's some people who they didn't realize that they got a medal because it was a walk category.
walk
But
category.
we also saw Mr. Fred Lopez there. He was there with his wife, and they said that that was their first day back on track. And so that was exciting to hear that they utilized the Health and Wellness Fair to start that journey.
Well, especially the post-pandemic, a lot of people keep mentioning the same thing, that during the pandemic, we all might have gained a few pounds here and there. And I keep hearing that recurrent theme, but this post-pandemic and now continuing that initiative. So great effort.
And I'm glad to include the walk category, because we need to include all the other older generations that want to participate but cannot run a 5K. But yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
Also that what do you call it,
Run
Zumba,
walk.
the aerobics.
It was the
Great
Fit
comments
Kids.
on that too. So yeah, congratulations. It was a great event. I understand. I was not able to make it, so I was out of town, but I hope to be there next year. So.
Well, I know that we had talked about it, and I know Mr. Lopez with the EDC board, he mentioned that, maybe it's possible that we could even just do a 5K, maybe 2 to 3 times a year, and DPS will be able to come on board whenever we need them. And that was their first time here in the region, and they loved it. Yeah. They went to Texas Cafe afterwards.
Keeping it local.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Herrera.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Anyone else, Chief?
That's it, Mayor. I did talk to one of the doctors that was there at the event, and he said I think he was from Harlingen, and he said that he likes coming over to this area because everybody's really united and everybody helps each other out. This is the first event. Next year will be bigger, and I got there late, so I didn't get to run. I wasn't dressed to run, but it was a good event. It was windy, and again, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There was about 3 events in the last couple of weeks, including the State of the City, and it's real hard to pick up on all of them. But this is what all the directors are doing for the community, and again, without the commission and you, Mayor, it wouldn't be possible. This the support that we get from you all to do what we do, and we couldn't do it without these directors and the employees of the city. They did a great job to all of you all. Congratulations.
Awesome. Chief, can I borrow a pen over there, please? Thank you. So moving on to item 2, consent agenda, letter A, approval of minutes from previous meetings, and letter B, 2B, approval of action taken at the meeting of the Rio Grande City Economic Development Corporation Board held on February 1st, 2022.
There are motion to approve items 2A and 2B.
I second.
I have a motion to approve items 2A and 2B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 3A, ordinances, second reading and possible action amending ordinance 2021-7, specifically Chapter 18, Article 1 of the Rio Grande City Airport Advisory Board, creation, composition, appointment of members, expanding board membership to 7 members, and revising qualifications of membership.
Yes, Mayor, this is the second reading to add 2 members to the airport board. The fire chief is here if you have any questions, and the 2 members that were going to be added would be Robert Hale and Miguel Moreno. Mr. Hale is a local from here. They have businesses here. Mr. Moreno, he's a TVC agent that also is from this area, and he's very involved in a lot of stuff that goes on around the county. So those are the 2 recommendations from staff.
Okay. Entertain a motion at this time.
Mayor, I move item 3A.
Okay. We have a motion to approve item 3A by Commissioner Escobedo, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. And again, the advisory board, the airport advisory board, is just to make sure that we start taking advantage and plan for the future of the airport. And when you're looking at freight and cargo and potential flights, whether it's commercial or private down the road, and this is what the advisory board will do, is they'll do the research, they'll give recommendations to our city commission, and see what it is that we can do to start planning for the future of the airport and expansion into other areas within the city. it is active, but nonetheless, what can we do to make it more profitable? What can we do to make it more in line with all the growth and prosperity that's happened within the city? And this is what the advisory board will do, and look forward to their recommendations so we can start planning for that. So to all the members, they should be having meetings soon, and they'll create their own, the chairperson and vice chair and secretary and so on. So thank you to the board members for wanting to serve. Next item is 3B, second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2022-4, establishing voting procedures and other matters related to the May 7, 2022 general election.
Yes, Mayor. This is the second reading. We already did the first reading last month. It's to get the elections going. Already got several items ordered since everything has to be, everything changed, all the forms changed. The mail-in ballots changed, so everything had to be reordered this year. The machines, we'll be getting it from Starr County. They will be lending us the machines. Okay. So we'll be using the new machines. We won't be using the old ones that we used last time. It will be the new ones. So everything's coming along, it's moving, it's going by fast.
By the time we know it, another election.
Yes,
all right,
another
so
one.
do we entertain a motion at this time?
I so move.
I second.
We have a motion to approve item 3B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion?
Just want to ask Ms. Garza if we ever looked at getting some quotes to purchase their own machines.
Yes, I mean,
we run elections every 2 years, so I mean, I think they would pay for themselves in the long run. So I think that's something we need to consider instead of having to borrow them from or lease them from the county.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yes, I'll be getting some quotes for that.
Yes.
I think getting both options, the lease and purchase.
Yes.
And we'll take it from there.
Great. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. The next item is 3C, first reading and possible action approving ordinance number 2022-5, amending ordinance 2006-4, specifically section 4110, restraint of animals to be in compliance with recent Texas legislative requirements and providing for an effective date. Chief?
Mayor, Commission, we're requesting an ordinance to be passed in order to update our leash law ordinance that was passed back in 2006. January 18th of this year, the state of Texas passed a new unlawful restraint of a dog. So there is a section where in our ordinance states that the dogs have to be restrained at all times. So it contradicts with state law. So we're just removing one section of our ordinance and still applying the rest of the ordinance.
And the rest of the ordinance is in compliance with the new law?
Yes, it was just that little section that we're requesting to be removed that pretty much was butting heads with the new state law. So we're going to enforce the state law, we can't enforce that portion of the ordinance.
And I'm sure legal already looked at it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I move that we accept the amendment.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 3C by Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 4, resolutions, letter A, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2022-8 to authorize the submission of a grant application for funding through Operation Stone Garden 2021 U.S. Department of Homeland Security for grant period 3/1/2022 to 2/28/2023.
Mayor, Commission, glad to say we got awarded $539,995 with 5 cents for this year's Operation Stone Garden, which is fiscal year 2021. To be able to be in compliance with the grant, we have to pass a resolution. This grant gives us almost $300,000 for overtime and $240,000 to purchase units. So that will give us 4 units, and apart from the 2 that we requested earlier, so 6 units to replace some of our older fleet.
Chief, what type of units are we purchasing? Sedans, or are we going?
We're going to
Tahoe
purchase
type, or-
Typically, through the grant, we purchase Tahoes. February 28th of next year, the grant, we have to pretty much get all of our reimbursements in. They pretty much told us that Tahoes would not be available till maybe December, where they would get them, and it still takes several months to build. So we're going to go into Explorers. They do have those in stock, so it would be a turnaround. So next month's meeting, we'll get all our quotes together and ask for permission to order those.
Are Tahoes allowed to get or be involved in pursuits or no, or only sedans? Or how does that, what is the law on that?
Any vehicle.
Yeah, 'cause I thought I heard or understood that this, only sedans could be legally involved in any type of pursuit.
Most agencies have Tahoes, and it really depends on the area you live. You know, some agencies prefer trucks over sedans or SUVs.
Okay.
So right now, we're just trying to get what's available.
Right.
And the people I've spoken to regarding the Explorers have all given good feedback on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll entertain a motion at this time. Okay, we have a motion to
I'll second the
approve by
motion.
Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Great news, always whenever we have grant monies, absolutely welcome. Next item is 5 items for consideration and approval. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for the water department, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Ms. Reyes, if you have any questions?
Have any questions for Ms. Reyes on the purchases?
Mayor and Commissioners, you have the list, the memo, and the top 3 are on our regular purchasing for the operation. The following, the CN Plus Controls Network. This will kind of finish establishing our SCADA with our system. We will be lacking one of the boosters. I do have our chief water treatment operator online, Mr. Alex Guerra. I'd like for him to explain it so you can hear directly from the persons who are going to be using this equipment if you all approve it tonight. Go ahead, Alex.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner. My name is Alex Guerra. I'm the chief operator at the plant. What we have in front of you is a quote to have some repairs done at the water plant that are vital for our plant operations. The first 2 go together. Those are our air shower blowers. We use those to backwash our filters. When they're not on property, you can form what's called mud, which will plug our filters, which would make them less effective when treating our water. We have been running them without it. We've been using other methods to backwash them, but this is one of the most vital parts before it goes into our distribution system. Our filters are the last stone of protection for microbes and bacteria and dirt before it goes into our distribution system. So that is very important for our plant. Item number 3, that is for our flow meters. Those control our pumps and our counts for the amount of water we send out, the amount of water we can pump out. When those meters are not working properly, we can over pump or under pump, which would cause us more expenses by purchasing water rights, because if we over pump and our meters are not working, then we're claiming that we're sending more water than we're not. So those are very important for our counts, our water counts. And the last one, that's for our 1 million gallon tank. That's the tank that's on Eisenhower Road. That is our most important tank in the distribution system for providing pressure and water throughout our city. Right now, there are controls on the tank itself. We can control the pumps and the settings of when to fill it with water, when to empty the water, but we have no control of it over in our plant. Now, that is, we can have control of it in our plant because we have had situations where the pumps go offline, and we won't find out until the pressure around town, people start calling that there's no pressure. since we don't have any indication of the pumps at our plant telling us the pump faulted, the tank valve didn't open. So item number 4 is for that. And, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when we have the situations, sometimes, the operator has to go physically at whatever hour of the night or whatever, and stay there and make sure and turn on pumps, see if the tanks fills up, go back, check the pressure. And so with this, they'll be able to monitor it directly and immediately find out if there's a drop in pressure.
And they're from the water plant.
From the
not
water
necessarily
plant, yes.
having to be on location.
Which is,
Okay.
yes, sir. This is going to help tremendously. When the plant was first constructed, this were in place, but I guess over the years, for whatever reasons, they have been falling off. We want them to get fully all the tools that they need so they can be running more efficiently.
It will be a fully automated plant. I mean, that's the, right?
That's what we're going to go because it is growing. So that's on Altera, on the CN Plus Controls Network. The next item is Altera, and this is on the Trimble. This is an equipment that is used for GIS mapping. Right now, Mr. Rene Sarte has been going out and GPSing a lot of the facilities, but he is off sometimes by 5, 10, sometimes even 15 points on the GPS. He does not have the tools. And so it doesn't make sense when you have a water line and you're off by 15 feet, you can hurt it. So I'm going to let him explain a little, just so you can understand what he's going to be using it and how.
Commissioners, Mayor, apparently the Trimble equipment is pretty much the same as the surveyors use. And I've not used that equipment, but I am familiar with it. Pretty much back then I was familiar with using what they call a transit and a compass. I could pretty much go out and mark off a property lot, or even locate a sewer line, as long as I have either the plat or the deed. For instance, if I have a deed, I can square off a property. Instead of having to pay an engineer to do this, I could pretty much do it out of a home office.
Thank you, Mr. McKee. And as far as prices and when we're getting the best prices and all this,
Actually, sir, this is part of the state procurement process. They go and do statewide procurement, and so this is the price. We are looking at financing that we'll be presenting to the finance director, so we can put it into payments. And we'll be presenting that at the next meeting.
okay.
Mrs. Beas, and is this like a type of a software or what?
This is actually like an antenna, it's a
An antenna?
transmitter. And
Okay.
so it's globally, especially, so the GPS point will be within centimeters. What he'll do is he brings that data and uploads it into the program in the computer. And then from there, we can print out maps, or they can even be on the cloud where the crew, through their iPads, when they're at a leak, they'll know where the line is. We are also under an EPA federal mandate that by October 2024, all our water transmission lines have to be mapped, including the service lines, not only the trunk lines. So
And is there a monthly fee even after we buy all this equipment?
it's an annual for the program,
For the program?
like a licensing.
Oh, not license, okay, got it.
Yes, sir. And we'll be presenting all of that with the financing options at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on any of the other items? We're going digital, sir.
We need to, I mean, there's no doubt, and we need to make sure that we map out all our systems. I mean, we need to, I mean.
He's already mapping on the fire hydrants. He's done surveys on some of the multifamily units, and he's got some manholes, so we're doing.
They could also do the valves where, if somebody has an issue, they could get that information to whoever's going, they know where it's gonna be at before. They don't have to be looking for it when it's all done. So it kind of speeds up the process of everything. So it's pretty good too.
Okay. We entertain a motion at this time.
Also move.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5A by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 5B, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for several departments, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process. And 5B.
I'm not sure if you all have a memo that's passed around?
This one.
Yes.
This is separately from the PUD, because this has to do with the projects that have started up and are ongoing. On the first one, HAF Engineering, those are actually 3 invoices, and the documentation is attached. In total, they have worked this amount, or have submitted the hours for this amount. Same Engineering is doing the off-site improvements to take it to the 9 acres on the St. Ives. Meldon Hunt is working on the wastewater through the Texas Water Development Board. We've had our first progress meeting. Chief Castillo was part of that. They're moving along. They should be presenting a draft feasibility study to the agencies, NADBank and Texas Water Development Board, by April. And then as soon as the agencies approve it, it comes before the council. And that will determine the exact type of improvements that will be done at the sewer plant. And of course, we have the Warren Group, who has been working on the public safety building, and they have submitted their first.
Correction,
I'm sorry.
you're talking about the rehabilitation, right? Or which one are you talking about? You're still in 5A or
5B.
5B.
Okay,
5B,
okay.
yeah. And so of course, the last item is their first pay application.
Yeah.
All of this went through the procurement process, and they're under contract, and these are their monthly statements.
These are all the ones that we already have on contract.
Yes, sir.
Right. Any other questions from Ms. Beas, or do we entertain a motion at this time?
Any questions on any of the projects, or I don't know?
On 5B, we also have other
PD and
departments that
fire
have
expenses.
expenses that need to.
Any other questions from Ms. Beas? No. All right. Thank you, Ms. Beas.
We also have the police department, the fire department, and Hector also has an item on that section.
Mayor, Commission, the item that we have is our annual payment of our Taser Axon lease. Last year, it was our first year, this is the second year. So the total payment of the year is $7,155.90. So we just need permission to go ahead and process that payment. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else? The
And
chief?
then we have the
The
fire
other-
chief that
just
has
expenses.
the expense,
It's a
the
pay-
final
pay
expense,
receipt
the
for
final
that.
payment, right, you have fire chief?
Good evening, Mayor. Commissioner. Yes, we finally completed the airport, and we sent out, we have an outstanding payment of close to $10,000 of the half a payment that was owed to the company that did the remodeling. And we're just here for your approval to pay them all, basically. And the job has been completed. That's
It's
correct.
been done, and, okay.
Correct.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief? All right, thank you, Chief.
And then the end would be Hector, where he
Mr.
put in
Barrera?
the estimate for the guardrail that was damaged in Las Lomas, right, Hector?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Commission. Good evening. There was an accident like a month ago on Las Lomas, and there's a rail that's real damaged, so it's about 6,100, so.
That's replaced by the city?
Yeah, it's good, yes.
Does the city collect any type of insurance from the vehicle that damaged the property or no?
I'm getting information on that,
Yeah, Mills will get that information for that claim.
which they probably will.
Any questions for Mr. Barrera? No. Thank you, Mr. Barrera.
Thank you.
Do we entertain a motion at this time, or any other?
I so move, Mayor.
Okay, have a motion to approve item 5B by Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Escobedo.
No,
Any
Flores.
further-
Flores.
Commissioner Flores. Ando trayendo menos. Okay. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
I sound like a man now.
It's the mask.
My apologies, Commissioner. Next item, 5C, discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluations to select an engineer for the water treatment plant rehabilitation and East Water Loop engineering design and project management for RFQ number 2021-2.
Mayor, on this one, we're requesting to table this. We're missing something on the scoring. That should be on the next meeting agenda.
We entertain the motion then to
Also
table.
move, we table.
I have a motion to table by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 6, contracts and agreements. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve a contract with Prio Shows of Texas for the display on July 2nd, 2022 at the Basilio Villarreal Park.
Yes, sir, Ms. Hernandez can explain that.
I hear George Strait is going to join us this year. Is that?
He is. His cousin
All right.
Jorge Derecho will be there.
Okay.
Mayor Commission, we are preparing for this year's Freedom Fest, and I have recruited some assistance from Mr. Strongarm, Frank Eguia.
All right.
He will be helping me coordinate the event this year, along with the gentleman from Solido. They've been helping us for a couple of years. So we have a meeting scheduled for next week on Tuesday. But one of the first things that I wanted to take care of was to get our fireworks, because they're scarce. There's not too many providers. Locally, this company is from Texas. We used them last year. They did a great job for us. I reached out to them earlier in the year, and they recommended that we get them locked down so that, but there is an increase on price, so I did indicate that in the memo, because we're moving it to Saturday. Last year we had it on Friday, and there's also an increase on price. Everything is pretty much going up, so.
Well, every year we keep growing the Freedom Fest, so this will be one of our signature, or the signature event of the city at some point. So by all means, one day we'll have George Strait. I don't know, maybe this year, we'll see.
Before I retire.
Any questions for Ms. Hernandez? Now, do we entertain a motion at this time?
I move to approve item 6A, Mayor.
We have a motion to approve item 6A by Commissioner Flores, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez.
Thank you, and if y'all have any suggestions for the music, contact
George
me or Frank.
George.
Aside from George Strait.
Okay. You want to shut down the city, and we bring George Strait. Shut it down. Next item is 6B, discussion and possible action to approve a lease agreement between the City of Rio Grande City and U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Yes, Mayor, this is an agreement with with the Border Patrol, and this is a surveillance tower that they want to set up next to the water plant. We're supposed to go see this, but they've put those up before, and they're just asking, for an agreement if we allow them to do it. That secures our areas a little bit better and moves the traffic a little bit to other locations, and gives security to that whole area. And we've worked well with them in the past. We still need to go see it, but this was sent to legal. We just recommend that make sure legal approves this before it gets signed and executed.
Is that a permanent structure, Chief? Or
No,
is
it's
that
not.
one also
It's a tower. It's one of those medium-sized towers that's movable. So, no, and then if the city decides that it needs to get moved, we could actually do that as per the agreement.
Yeah, the reason I asked is I noticed there was one here by the railroad tracks, before the Hill Las Chapa house. I noticed there was one towards the tracks, and it's a big antenna with some.
Right, there's one at the
satellites, and
TV,
antennas are also for surveillance and
It should be somewhat like that. I have not seen it. We have to go see that location with the Border Patrol. And I already talked to Ms. Beas about it. It's not in the way, so as soon as they pick that location and the site is agreed upon, it'll take them a little bit to get it in, but we'll look at it and see where it's going to be fitting.
So as far as the lease agreement, legal has not looked at it yet?
Yes, we sent it to legal, yes, sir.
All right. I entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
A motion to approve item 6B by Commissioner Olivares.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 7, City Manager's Report, Letter A, discussion and possible action to declare 15 harnesses and 21 cylinders out of commission for donation to different fire departments in Mexico.
Chief?
Yes, good evening again, Mayor Commissioners. These are 15 harnesses and cylinders that we use, the SCBA's, self-contained breathing apparatuses that are no longer we're not able to use anymore. They have a 15-year lifespan, and it exceeded those. You get it tested up to that, and if it fails, there's no more using it anymore, and they've already been expired more than that already. But we've been having it in storage for a while already. We just needed to get rid of some stuff. And we had some local fire departments from Mexico reach out to us. They sent us a letter. I know you have the letter. We have one from El Carmen, Nuevo León Fire Department, and one from Camargo, asking us if we have any type of equipment that would like to. Obviously, they don't follow the same regulations as United States does, but they're no longer usable for us. So they were asking if there's any ways that we can go ahead and donate that to them.
We would not incur any kind of liability if it fails or something over there. Okay.
So it's Camargo, Tamaulipas, and
El Carmen, Nuevo León.
Carmen, Nuevo León.
Do you need a motion, Mr.?
Yes, we entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
A motion to approve item 7A by Commissioner Olivares.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Next item is 7B, discussion and possible action for wine and malt beverage retail dealers of off-premise permit by 7-Eleven Beverage Company for Stripe Store 4200, 1H located at 4507 East Highway 83, Rio Grande City.
Mayor, Commissioners, as you can see now, this is moved to the City Manager's report for the reason that with all the new laws that have changed with TABC, they are no longer required to go through planning and zoning. The only time they have to go through planning and zoning and through the commission is when they're in violation of the ordinance. If they're too close to...
Or they have some type of...
Yeah, or some type of issue in the
waiver
application.
or some type of...
Yes. So other than that, they can go inside and go into the agenda at any time, and with your approval, they can go ahead and get their...
Okay.
Very good.
So if I'm
And this
correct, we
is-
have
and
a
this-
checklist to make sure they meet all the
Yes.
regulations and
Yes, and this
500
is of
fees.
course for the new 7-Eleven that's going to be there at the St. Ives.
Okay.
It's looking great, by the way, that
Yes.
7-Eleven.
It's real
You've seen it
pretty.
right there in the corner. And once Chick-fil-A starts construction there too sometime soon. So it's gonna be a lot of traffic through there, even more so. All right, do we entertain a motion at this time?
I so moved, Mayor.
Have a motion to approve item 7B by Commissioner Escobedo, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item, 7C, presentation of street improvement project by Half and Associates.
Mayor and Commissioner, we do have Ms. Christina and Andrew from HAF, and you all recall the last presentation. They were supposed to come back with more concrete figures after the geotesting and the surveying. So they've got the updated report.
Hello, Mayor, Commissioners, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you should be getting a copy of the updated list. So it's double-sided. On the front, you're going to see the list that we've been working on, the original list with the streets that were removed. The red line was kind of the funding line where your budget was going to take you up to. And then the blue line is where we wanted to design up to, hoping for some good bids. Now, the shortened list, the one that has the red banner on the top that says final list, on the other side, is the final updated list. We've removed all the streets that were crossed out. We had removed the part of Embassy North of Hinojosa, the concrete portion, and replaced that with Reynaldo Gomez from US 83 to South. And we're able to move that funding line down 3 more streets to include Eisenhower, San Benito, and South Britain Avenue. Now, we've included a 20% contingency in all of these costs just because of the current uncertainty with the materials and supplies. So our recommendation is to bid them all out, hoping for the best, and include maybe some bid items where on the concrete streets, maybe consider a pavement section or hot mix section, so we can see, competitively bid. Maybe hot mix is actually at a good rate and concrete is unreasonable. It's hard to tell really what the market's doing as it fluctuates so much right now. But that's kind of our suggestion. I think, you have some really long streets like Eisenhower completely included in there. All of these streets are really in need.
Which is the street that has the concrete?
It's Garcia Street is one of them, Water Street also.
Yeah, but that's the one that really needs a concrete. I think that's the reason that we are opting to go that route, because the other asphalt's gonna be washed away. I think that concrete's necessary there.
And we're also proposing in Reynaldo Gomez, that section, because there's a lot of truck traffic.
A lot of traffic
also.
there.
Yeah.
Heavy truck.
Yeah. I think those are them. And then the front part of San Benito Street also.
Yeah.
Where the trucks pass across, where the tracks, so the tracks will be removed by Border Pacific. They'll be removing the street, the rails there on San Benito. I think that was the only one. And Pine, but Pine's below. Oh, and Reynaldo Gomez?
Oh, I'm sorry. Reynaldo Gomez.
It's active.
The track stay on that.
Yeah. So it's really just San Benito.
So at this point, timeline-wise, we would be looking at going out for bids at this point, or how soon can we start?
So the plans are pretty much done. It'd really be up to the city as far as how soon, we'll provide you with the final list or final copy of the plans.
Okay.
Any comments that y'all have, we can incorporate them, but really we're ready to go out whenever you are.
Okay. All right. Any questions, commissioners?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Do we need a motion?
No,
No.
this is just a presentation.
Awesome.
Great. Can't wait to start seeing those paving trucks.
Yes, sir.
All righty. I know it's taking a while, so. Next item is 8, executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, section 551.072, real property, section 551.087, economic development, and section 551.074, personnel matters. It is 7:08 p.m. And we're headed to executive session.
Is she?
Executive session, it is 9:03 PM. Item 9, reconvene into regular session in consideration of action on matters discussed during executive session, including the following. There's no action on item 9A, no action on item 9B, no action on item 9C, and no action on item 9D. And at this time, any last minute announcements, Chief, before we move on to item 10?
Thank you all for staying for the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, and there's a lot of positive news, and of course, we had our State of the City address. Thank you to the staff for being part of that, and all the employees, which it was phenomenal to see so much growth and prosperity that our city is at this point in the history of Rio Grande City. We're in a great position, the best in the history of Rio Grande City is because of the staff and employees and everyone that's part of the city in our community. And they're seeing the growth, and they're seeing it, it's out there, it's palpable, and it's great to catch this momentum right now. And it's only greater things that are gonna happen. So nonetheless, thank you all for your service, dedication, and commitment. So with that, do we entertain a motion?
I move that we adjourn, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Olivares.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned. It is 9:05 PM. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great night.
Second? No.